You walk up to your front sidewalk one day and notice it's gotten worse again. Not a tiny hairline crack. I'm talking about one of those ugly, uneven gaps wide enough to trap weeds, collect muddy water, swallow gravel, and somehow always look worse after it rains. And the first thought most people have is, this slab is done. I'm gonna have to replace the whole thing. But here's the weird part. One of the best tools for fixing a gap like this might actually be a pool noodle, seriously. Because when these sidewalk joints get wide, crooked, and uneven, regular filler alone usually fails. It sinks, cracks, washes out, or leaves a repair that somehow looks worse than the original gap. But there's a simple way to rebuild the joint so it stays flexible, sheds water better, and actually blends into the concrete instead of looking like a giant black scar. And the fix starts before you even open the sealant. Most people skip this part, and it's exactly why their repair fails by next winter. See, the problem isn't just the crack itself, it's everything hiding inside it. Dirt, loose grit, tiny roots, dead weeds, old caulk that already lost its bond years ago. If you seal over that mess, the new material is basically sticking to dust. And once water sneaks underneath, freeze-thaw does the rest. Water gets in, temperatures drop, the ice expands, the joint widens, and suddenly that tiny sidewalk issue becomes a bigger trip hazard every single season. So before filling anything, the goal is to get down to clean, solid concrete. A nylon cut brush on a drill works incredibly well here because it scrubs out packed debris fast without chewing up the concrete edges. And if there's old caulk buried in the joint, pull all of it out completely. Leaving even small sections behind can create weak spots where the new seal breaks loose early. Now here's where things get interesting. If the gap is fairly consistent, standard foam backer rod works great. That's the normal fix. But sidewalk gaps are rarely normal. Some sections get wider, some dip lower, some flare out underneath where you can't even see the void from above. And this is where the pool noodle trick actually makes sense, because you can cut and shape it into weird sections way easier than standard backer rod. It basically becomes a custom foam support system for the sealant so the repair stays flexible instead of collapsing into the gap. But there's one mistake almost everybody makes here. They push the foam too high. And when that happens, the sealant layer ends up thin, weak, and ugly. Sometimes you can literally see the bright foam through the surface after it cures. You want the foam sitting slightly below the concrete surface so the sealant can form a strong bridge across the top while still being fully supported underneath. And if the gap gets really deep in spots, don't waste half a tube of sealant filling empty space nobody will ever see. Pour clean sand into the deepest voids first, not all the way to the top, just enough to build a stable base underneath the foam. That cuts down on material cost, helps prevent sinking, and makes the final repair feel much more solid. Then comes the part that actually changes how the sidewalk looks. Once the foam is fitted tightly into the joint, tape off the ends so sealant can't leak out while it cures. After that, apply a flexible concrete-rated joint sealant designed for horizontal surfaces. And this next detail matters more than people realize. If the sidewalk has even a slight slope, a fully self-leveling sealant can slowly run downhill and leave low spots behind. A semi-self-leveling formula gives you a lot more control because it spreads enough to smooth itself out without turning into a liquid puddle. At this point, the repair usually looks pretty terrible. Shiny black strip, fresh caulk glare, doesn't match the sidewalk at all. But there's a simple finishing trick that makes a huge difference. Wait until the sealant starts to skin over slightly, then lightly dust sand across the surface. That cuts the artificial shine, helps the color blend into the concrete better, and keeps leaves, bugs, and mulch from sticking while it cures. And honestly, this is the part most people are surprised by. You're not rebuilding the sidewalk. You're just stopping water from turning a manageable gap into a much bigger problem later. Because once runoff starts washing underneath slabs, everything accelerates. Joints widen faster, concrete shifts more, weeds keep returning. And in a lot of homes, the real cause is actually bad drainage nearby, overflowing gutters, short downspouts, or roof runoff constantly soaking the soil beside the walkway. Now to be clear, this fix does have limits. If the sidewalk has major height differences, heavy sinking, or serious movement around an entrance, sealing alone is not the full repair. At that point, you may need leveling or slab replacement, especially if it's becoming a real tripping hazard. But for those big, ugly gaps that just keep collecting weeds and water, this is one of the simplest DIY repairs that can make the sidewalk look cleaner, last longer, and stop the damage from getting worse every rainy season. And the best part is, once you understand how the foam support works, even a weird, irregular gap suddenly becomes way less intimidating to fix.